Okay, Ed, we need to talk about what's going on with the safety of our people, PPE. Let's just spend some time with PPE.
Yeah, there's been a tremendous amount of talk about it, right? I mean, everybody knows these things, right? You know, you're supposed to be wearing your mask and, you know, all that kind of stuff, and it's supposed to be over your nose, not like this and not like this, all these kind of things, right? So first and foremost, you know, I mean, as we sit here today in early September, you know, this virus is still hanging around. In fact, it may be crazier than it was before. You know, as you know, I've got 3 kids that work in hospitals, and their hospitals are as full today as they have ever been, even back, you know, at the peak of the first wave of COVID. So I think first and foremost, you know, I think some of us have become lax, even though, you know, we're both double vaccinated and all those kind of things. I think we lose sight of that, and we, you know, I don't want you to slip up. Where are these things, you know, for a bunch of different reasons, other than I just think it's a great angle that Orkin uses. Not an angle, but I think customers expect us, because of our big brand, to show up in full PPE, right? That we're going to take care of ourselves and use those safety precautions, let alone, you know, what could be going on with the children. Again, I stay away from the politics of all this stuff. You know, I think it's just pure craziness, but, you know, we'll leave that for others to decide. But I know it's company policy that when you roll up and you deal with customers and you deal with fellow employees, that you're masked and you're doing the right thing. So I guess just a gentle reminder that this thing hasn't gone away, may not go away for a while. You know, don't get lax, don't slip up, don't fall in that trap, don't be one of those poor souls that ends up with this virus or this variant, even though you're vaccinated, right? Don't let your guard down, maybe is the best way to put it. But overall, encompassing, I think makes more sense about PPE, just the way that we carry ourselves, right? You know, we talk about full face respirators, right? If you're doing an inspection and you're in a crawl space, don't wear a dust mask. You know, wear the full face respirator. If you go up into an attic, don't put the little dust mask on. Put this bad boy on. Why would you put that thing on, right? Number one, it makes you safer than you've ever been, right, than that little dust mask. It'll cover all these other things. But the other thing, you know, from a selfish standpoint, you know, kind of sets the expectation to that customer that, you know, I came down out of that, I put this stuff to go on in the attic and I put this to go underneath the house. When you come out of there and you talk about the, you know, the air quality that's going on up in their attic and going on in their crawl space, and you didn't have one of these things on, do they believe you? You know, they've been climbing underneath their house or up into their attic to pull their Christmas stuff out every year, and they haven't worn anything. But then the Orkin guy or the Orkin gal shows up, and they got not only the respirator, but the full Tyvek suit on if you're going up into the attic, or, you know, the crawl suit on when you're going into the crawl space. You know, those aren't just to keep you from getting your shirts dirty. It's to keep you safe, right? To keep all those contaminants off you. So I would suggest to you that when you go to do inspections, a lot of what we do as salespeople isn't what we say or how we sell, or that, you know, you're the greatest salesperson in the world. It's the visuals that the customer sees. What is that gal doing? Why is she putting that white suit on to get up in our attic? Why is she throwing this respirator on? Boy, there must be something going on. So when you come down back out of there, and not to use it as a scare tactic, it's keeping you safe. You got to do it right, you know? So I think when we talk about PPE and the shoes covers and all the things that we talk about, certainly they are there to protect us and to keep us safe, and the goggles and, you know, the knee pads and the gloves, you know, that we talk about all the time. All those kind of things are certainly designed to keep us safe. But I think it's twofold. In addition, it's what the customer expects coming from Orkin. They expect us to show up and do things safely and properly. And I think at the end of the day, it helps us sell by showing that, you know, we're going to spend the money, we're going to put a respirator on, we're going to look different than the other guys or the other gals that are climbing around their crawl space, climbing around their attic. You know, there's no heroes to climb underneath the crawl space without a respirator on. You know, you come out of that crawl space with your respirator on, and you start talking about the quality of the air underneath there, you'll have a little bit more validity, I think, if you came out with one of these on and they asked you why you had one. So I think, you know, kind of full circle on this kind of topic. COVID's still around, right? Don't let your guard down, and take advantage of the entire PPE. If you go in to do a bed bug inspection on a house and you don't throw a Tyvek suit on, I think you're missing an opportunity to add a little sizzle to your sell, right? So, you know, you think about what you can do to kind of, I guess, pick the urgency up. You know, when you get into attics, and gear up, look the part, you know, get the right flashlights, the right headlights, all this stuff that we provide for you to do the job the right way. Not only will it keep you safe, I think, you know, from the guy that's been in sales with working for 30 plus years, I think it helps you sell when you dress the part. And I'll leave it at that. I think hopefully that answers the question.
Yeah, it kind of separates you from the competition because, you know, we have that equipment. Might as well use it. Safety first.
Absolutely, and most importantly, certainly, I don't want to dispel the fact that we want you to get home safely.
That's right.
And so let's make sure we're doing all this stuff for you. I think it'll help with the sales, but do it for you first.
Absolutely.
Fair enough?
Great tips.